What is going on, guys? My name is Kevin. I'm here to talk about Big Brother 26. We have CJ here, 5 PMers, doing it big once again. CJ, how are you doing, sir?
I am doing great. How are you doing, sir?
Listen, man, I am really good. I am really, really good. I as we know, T Core, we're gonna get through it all, but T Core's HOH. I'm super happy for her. I know you're super happy for her. Everyone in the house is super happy for her. I couldn't be happier.
Were you so happy you cried tears of joy?
I did. And she's just such a sweet, sweet baby child. It's just so nice. And she came to Crow Slay, but we're here for her. You know what I'm saying? We're here to do it all. And so it's been so much fun. I'm so happy for T Core. You're so happy for T Core. We have Tasha. Tasha's probably happy for T Core. What up, Tasha? She's probably happy for T Core right here on For the Fans. Everyone's so happy for T Core.
So happy.
I've never seen someone win HOH and have a universal approval rate. Like that was
Like I love what Mackenzie said. They're falling around like a lost puppy, and I was like, even Mackenzie was happy for her. She was just like clowning on everybody else for how happy they were for her.
listen. I know that either Trump or Biden would love to have T Core's approval rate, the rating like she has in the House. Either one, they would love to have her approval rating because it is a 100% approval rating.
Which is funny because like, what happens when she puts someone up? Are they still going to be
Yeah,
happy for her?
I have to still put somebody up. That's still going to happen. So it's just so funny because I think everyone thought they were safe, and then they did the math, and they're like, "Oh, but somebody has to go up."
No,
But we're gonna get into that.
I feel like when we get the fallout on Wednesday's episode, it's like, you know what? We're still happy she won. Like she had to do it, but if I have to go home on T Core's HOH, I'm just
Yeah,
happy for her.
I,
I'm happy
I
that she won.
couldn't, I couldn't wish for a better ending for my game than to go home on T Core's HOH. I know it would have been so hard for her, and I know that she didn't want to do it, but it was probably the best option to make it as easy as it could be for her. That's
Right.
how
Ridiculous.
it's gonna be. So CJ, before we get into it, man, we didn't get a chance to talk. Me, Sheldon, and Kylie, due to circumstances, weren't able to jump on Thursday and talk about what happened. But I want us to go back real quick. As you know, here on For the Fans, we're going to talk about our 4 favorite moments from the episode at large. But we're going to actually start off with Bye Bye Brooklyn. We're going to pick up where the show picked up in the show with Brooklyn going home. The worst part, CJ, is that it didn't have to happen this way.
It didn't. But when Brooklyn told Rubina she was going home, and then Rubina promptly did not go home, I think it painted a huge target on her where everyone thought she was running stuff, which is funny because every alliance she was in, people are like, "Hey, Brooklyn, you're cool. You want to be in this alliance?" And she's like,
Right.
"Sure."
But you know what's even crazier is that I'm not even talking about that as to why it didn't have to be that way. We come back in the episode, and Leah's in the room crying by herself.
Yep.
And she's crying because she didn't want to send Brooklyn home. You have T-Core and Rubina chatting and saying there just wasn't time, but I wish Brooklyn was here.
And I don't understand how there wasn't time because you had 3 days for contingencies.
Listen. Do you know why there wasn't time, CJ? Because the speed that T-Core and Chemo move, Chemo's from Hawaii. These guys really move at island time. They are making decisions in the last minute. They spent all week making sure that Chelsea would be fine against Cam, but they didn't spend any time talking about Brooklyn versus Cam. So when everything shook out and Brooklyn was the one on the block, a quick conversation of, we still want Cam to go, right? Yeah.
So
you got it.
why don't they just do ranked choice voting? I feel like we need this for America anyway. Ranked choice voting, you rank who you want to go home. So if you want Cam to go home, you vote him. And
Brooklyn,
then
Chelsea third.
exactly. Like, this is the plan. We are doing ranked choice voting. Depending on who's the block, this is the order we vote. Which means Chelsea's never getting a vote. Brooklyn's only getting a vote if she's next to Chelsea. Cam's getting a vote first. It's not hard.
It's just so funny because, like Tasha said, she's in agreement. They were too busy trying to save Chelsea all week. And by trying to save Chelsea, they never considered other alternatives. And they didn't want to go against Tucker. And that was a big one. Even the conversation about Chelsea, saving Chelsea, they're like, so Tucker. Thoughts on saving Chelsea? Absolutely not.
Well, Tucker said no, so we can't do it.
Okay, Tucker said no. And then he leaves the room, and T-Core's like, well, what if we just do it anyway? They're like, why didn't you say something? Let's bring Tucker back in here. Tucker, come back. So are we sure we're not doing this? I already said no.
Okay.
Cool. He leaves. Are we going to let him run our game? T-Core. It was, you ever seen that SNL skit? Shy Ronnie?
Yes.
Yeah. T-Core is essentially Shy Ronnie.
She's and just whispering.
Yeah, and Tucker is when Rihanna's in the room. And the moment she leaves, Tucker leaves, that's when she starts cursing. Fuck this motherfucker. Blah. Yeah, she's Shy Ronnie.
Emo and Shy Ronnie.
Basically, that's the situation you're in. And she keeps her mouth shut. So they didn't want to do it then. So they were so busy on focusing on the Chelsea plan that they never stopped to say, well, he doesn't want Brooklyn here either, but Brooklyn's way better for us at large. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because like if you're trying to stay in the middle, which is what T-Core and Chemo are trying to do, don't you want to keep numbers on both sides so that when you're ready to make your final declaration, you can?
I don't even know that they were trying to stay in the middle. I think that's saying too much. I think that T-Core says, I think legitimately T-Core was like, brothers, sisters, black people. And then they were like, black people. And she was like, I'm riding with the black people, but I love me some Chemo and Rubina, minorities. And then as things shook out, even to go for young Cedric to go home, she was like, I thought we were black people. You guys didn't tell me about the Pentagon. We have to cut young Cedric. Young Cedric goes, and then immediately she's like, I'm not going after Kevin Chelsea.
Yeah.
I don't want this. I don't want what you're doing, Tucker. Tucker does it. And then she's still like, I don't like it.
But like, because Brooklyn's light skinned, she don't count?
So Brooklyn's racial ambiguity is a very interesting thing because in the opening piece, she said she was mixed with black and native and a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But she put up her 23andMe. Someone found it on the internet, and it was like 85% Irish British, which is a lot of percent Irish British. And then someone else, she was talking to someone in the house, and she said that her mother had like some Native American in her, but she didn't mention the black part. I don't really know what or Hispanic. I don't know. I don't know what the breakdown is, but for Brooklyn, they just wanted to keep her on GP, and that would have been fine. Like just on general principle, there was the votes were there, and then Brooklyn gave what I thought was a pretty fantastic plea.
She did.
Like this was the most effective campaigning I've ever seen was last week with Brooklyn and Chelsea going about their campaigns in different way, but both of them having pretty strong techniques.
Also, can we talk about Brooklyn's like, hey, everyone, listen to me. I'm going to campaign. Like, I'm giving my final speech right now. She gives it. Then Julie's like, okay, now it's time for final speeches because she used Julie's special whisper time.
You have to understand that Julie Chinlumbez is all about protocol. And there's certain things that have to be done in certain orders. And when you don't do the things in the exact order as she states, there is no deviation. Okay. So we heard Brooklyn give the speech about basically saving her to go after Tucker, and Tucker can't win everything. He can't even play in this HOH, yada yada yada. And then after that speech, Julie says, "Okay, now, house guests, take a seat. You two that are on the block, you are not able to vote. Neither is Tucker. You're the outgoing HOH. You also can't vote. One by one, you guys will be going into the diary room and casting your vote on who you want to evict, whether it be Cam or Brooklyn. But before we go, we need each of you to stand and give a 1 minute speech. Like there's a whole rundown that she does every Thursday, and she's like, I will not. Hey, Brooklyn, I will not give my rundown.
Do you think that she still reads it from a teleprompter 25 years later, or she's got it memorized?
Yes, from a teleprompter, 100%. When Julie checks out, do you know what Julie does? Julie walks off set, takes off, like there's someone that takes off her dress, puts on streetwear, and hands her a Bible, and she gets in the book. That's all she does. That's exactly how she does it. Comes right off set, right into God. That's all she's doing. She ain't think about Big Brother the rest of the time.
So then, do they put together a recap video for her right before she goes on stage, just so she knows what's going on?
Yeah. And occasionally, when things be popping, like she's still a human, right? She's part robot, part human, but the human part is still intrigued by things, right? And so, the intrigue is when the things were happening with Taylor, but Taylor was doing well. She's like, huh. When they said there's a group called The Leftovers, she said, huh, I'm interested. When they had the cookout, she said, huh, I'm interested in that. Last season, she was like, this is kind of boring. Jag keeps winning.
I told you, I already forgot Jag won. Every time you talk about Jag, I was like, oh yeah, Jag won last season. I forgot that he was there.
And so it's when the intrigue happens, is when she gets locked in. And then and only then is Julie like invested in what's going on in the show. So right now, she's not that invested in the show itself. Nope. So they have to give her a recap so she like knows what's up, to at least have the questions make sense in her mind of what she's asking. That's what I think.
It makes sense. I don't think she watches the show. Versus like Jeff Probst.
Yeah, he in the show. He is the
all
show.
About some.
Correct. And that's the difference between them. But you know, Julie keeps she killing the game. She's doing what she got to do. And how about Joseph? I mean, Joseph addressing Julie is probably like my favorite thing. Because it's something like, who are you?
Yeah. One week it's Chenbot. Next week is I don't know who you are.
Another time he's like, what up, Julie?
What up, Jules?
Yeah. He said, I'm just going to come in here and just try to swag it out. I'm just trying to hang out. I'm not hitting her with any compliments. I'm just here to kick it.
It's funny because I did not think Joseph would do this well in the game. But the more that he's there, the more that I like him.
Yeah, I can see that. He's doing better and better. He's like I say, he's really there like to be a player. Him and Quinn, super fans.
Yeah, except Quinn keeps shooting himself in the foot.
No, actually. Quinn keeps
talking to Chemo. He keeps talking to Chemo. Stop talking to Chemo.
He thinks he's talking to Chemo. The man just wants to have friends, CJ.
He can be friends with everyone but Chemo.
Other people will dive him out too.
Yeah, Angela, the other person he trusted.
Leah doesn't even like him.
Yeah, but he didn't know that. He had a crush.
Yeah. And he still got a crush, even though he like confronted her last week over the weekend, one of them, and was like, hey, do you hate me? And she's like, no, who said that? Who made that lie up? Someone lying on my name. But she does like low-key.
Yeah, he just needs to start eating. Like, he needs to stop working out and just start eating. Leah will be interested.
Out the gym, into the Benihanas, and get your food on, get the grubbing on, and then let's see what happens.
Like, Tucker does what? Protein ice cream? He just needs some of that without the exercise. He'll be fine.
I totally forgot Tucker did that. Yeah. Man, Tucker's he's an enigma. You know?
Yeah, like, if you ever met Tucker in life, you'd be like, this is not a real person.
Right. right, because it's just so many things, so many like
He's a
different
character. He's just a
things,
character.
and he knows he's a character too.
Yeah.
He knows he's a character, and I don't have a slide for. I don't have one of the four things. How about him being the AI instigator?
Oh, you didn't put
And
that in
then,
there? Because
nah,
like
man, I
so
did not
immediate
put that in here.
so he's an AI instigator, and then he immediately goes and tries to like throw shade at Quinn, but because we've seen the deepfake HOH, everyone's like, so this isn't Quinn, but like, who said this? Is dumb.
Yeah,
Like, and then he's trying to like showmance Rubina and he upsets her. So now he can't come clean that he's the one that upset her. 1.5.
1.5. I had to throw it in there real fast. AI instigator, and I didn't have anything clever right there. You know what I'm saying? I just threw it in there. So it was even more. So like Tasha said right here, he's an actor, and that comes up a little bit later. I'll tell you about that in a minute.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I think it's an act because he understands. I think he's a man torn between two worlds, right? He's a deeply hurt and caring individual who has a lot of feelings, but in this hand, he's also an actor, an actor. He is an actor extraordinaire, and he is here to bring the entertainment.
So you think he's a
And
thespian?
yes. And so with the two worlds, they collide. And so we're in a situation where he's always acting at all times, but he does care deeply about the people. My favorite. So, CJ, what you didn't see on the feed, well, you might see if you're on the feeds, but if you're not watching the feeds, um, all week last week, when Tucker was HOH, Mackenzie and Leah were both in the HOH room a bunch. Mackenzie stopped straightening her hair because word on the street was Tucker like girls with curly hair. If you notice in the DR, Leah wasn't wearing a lot of makeup. Nobody's wearing a lot of makeup because word on the street was Tucker doesn't like girls that wear a lot of makeup. So they're like doing the things they got to do to like catch his eye because everyone's got a crush on Tucker,
It's
right?
funny because I've been watching Mackenzie flirt with Tucker since Matt was on the block.
Bro, even better is that the other day Mackenzie was like, my game sucks. It is because it was tanked by one person. His name started with the M, ends with an at. And I was like, dang, this dude's probably here on this. He probably done with her now. He
Yep.
says she's trash now. But before that, he was like out here sipping for her in these. This was the real world. He was out here sipping for her.
He
And I don't think he
probably
is
still
anymore.
is simping for her.
Now he's probably heard. He's probably seen the clip. It was like, well, F you, bitch.
But call me when you get out the house.
But call me maybe. You know what I'm saying? It's rough, but like you're right. You've seen her start flirting like almost immediately. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they were putting in, they're doing the whole like the hair, like it was a lot. So when he goes in there, I thought it was quite an interesting decision to out himself because so last week, as they're doing the flirting, CJ, they're like, "What's up with you and Rabina though?" And you've known these dudes, you know dudes that have been like, "Man, oh that ain't nothing, dog." You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Yep.
we just friends. We just like they've been like knocking this girl down on the low, but like, oh no, we just friends. We just friends. He hits them with the Rabina's like a sister to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had heard that.
Oh no, I did because that's why they were so mad about them holding hands under blankets.
Yeah. And so then Leah and like any person that's interested in another person, because not just girls, guys do this too. Any person that's interested in another person, my eyes are always watching. They're always
Yep.
locked in because they're like just thinking about them all the time. They're holding hands under the covers. Leah locked in on it instantly and was like, "You don't hold hands with your sister like that, dog. That's not how you hold hands with your sister."
Yep.
I'm like not understanding what's going on. And when she locked in like that, she's like, something fishy's here. Did you hear about the bed check?
No.
So last week when Tucker was HOH, Rubina spent a little time in the HOH room in the evenings. One night, Leah was like, I saw them holding hands. And I went and checked her bed at 4 o'clock in the morning. Guess who was not in her bed?
Mackenzie.
So she was fast asleep. It was Rubina. And then it gets even better. She says to Joseph, like on Thursday or Friday, yo, Joseph, there's a box of condoms that are in the HOH room and it was unopened. When I went in there today, they were opened.
Nice.
Rubina did not come to her room last night. I saw them holding hands. And I was like, oh my God, she is Sherlock Holmes. She has figured this out. She has locked it all in. She turned to Joseph and said, elementary, my dear Watson.
Little does she know, Tucker was up there making balloon animals for Rubina.
Nah, he wasn't. He was using his penis. He was doing what I do. He was locking it down. And it was just so crazy because Leah had this huge crush. And like Tasha said, 1 + 1 = 2. She's like, there's something going on there. So then when we get the AI instigator, we get the confirmation with him saying, Quinn, I love him using Quinn, saying Pentagon for life. That was great. But the piece of information was that Rubina was holding hands with Tucker. We should have got Rubina when we had the chance. I thought that was a wild thing for Tucker to be the one to point out there. But just like any other dude, he thought he was doing something with good intentions, and that was jokester, and ended up never reading the girl right.
Yeah, like, why are you painting a target on your girl?
I don't think he thought he was painting the target. I think he thought he was putting it out in the open so that way they could like openly and freely hug and kiss and be like in a showman's around the house.
But if you openly admit that you're in a showman's, now everyone assumes that you're 2 votes instead of 1, which means we need to break you up.
So here's the thing, CJ. Let me tell you a problem with what you just said. Tucker did not think that far. And he didn't think about the fact that there was the amount of collateral damage from this decision. Mind-blowing.
Right?
Like saying that, if you notice, Mackenzie's hair was straight.
Yep.
By Mackenzie's hair being straight, she's no longer trying to do the things to be interested. Now here in the chat, Tasha said she didn't think it was that bad. She overreacted. Yes, Rubina might have overreacted, but these other things are the problem. He had Leah and Mackenzie and Angela to a degree, and Chemo. All of them were dickmatized. They were all dickmatized. And the moment he says, I have a girlfriend, basically, 3 of them fell
out. Yeah.
Chemo was like, well, listen, I was never going to get that dick. No way. But at least my girl get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we still here. But the other 3 are like, got you. And that immediately like turned Leah and Mackenzie like away from him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's all because of confirmation of his relationship. And then Rubina, second unintended consequence, Rubina didn't want her shit on Front Street like that. She's a 35-year-old woman. She's not trying to have that shit out there. She's trying to work on the low.
Do you think if it was Leah instead of Rubina, Leah would have been happy about it being put out there?
100%. 100%.
I don't have to hide it anymore.
Correct. She would have probably walked up to him and given him a kiss right on the lips. You know what I'm saying? Like right in front of everybody. We are a show, man. Let everybody know. Then at that point, though, that would have had a different unintended consequence. That's when Quinn and Joseph would have been like, gotta get Tucker up out of here because we gotta free up Leah.
I think it's funny that everyone was in love with Leah Aaliyah wasn't in love with any of them because she was in love with Tucker, and everyone was in love with Tucker, but Tucker's in love with Rubina. Is dumb. I mean, when Chelsea broke it down weeks ago, it was great, and it's just kind of stayed the same.
It's got to stay the same. Cam and Leah have drifted apart. That's not a thing, but the rest of the stuff stayed the same. And so the AI instigator, I know you love this part. I know Kylie loved this part. She's not here. But I know that when they said on the card, you can't tell anyone.
Yes.
I know you love that.
Yes.
Like,
because none of these motherfuckers can keep a secret. None of these motherfuckers can keep a secret. Don't tell a soul.
Point blank, period. Can't tell no one.
Yeah.
And I thought that was fantastic. AI instigator, how do you feel about it?
Based off of what we've seen, I think it's pretty stupid. But I think that it has the potential to be great. I just think Tucker is stupid.
I think the contrary, actually. I think it's great because it is Tucker, and Tucker has decided that making TV is the most important thing.
I guess. But like,
because why else would he be as messy as he was with that?
I guess my bigger problem is, why'd you like pin it on yourself first?
Right.
I mean, I guess if you want to frame Quinn, but you've already told me that you don't think Quinn is a threat. So why are you framing Quinn some more?
He's like, I just hate the dude.
But like, he could have done that as Chelsea or as Cam.
True.
Because if I'm Quinn and I'm thinking, well, who's my enemy in this house? Because I know I didn't do it, which makes me think Tucker did it.
Oh, I wouldn't have thought Tucker. Because why would Tucker put his own information like that on Front Street?
Because he's a chaotic player.
I wouldn't, even with him being chaotic, I wouldn't think. I thought it was a good cover. I would have thought it was Leah or Angela.
I could see thinking it's Angela because Angela's also a chaotic player. But Angela's like emotional chaotic versus Tucker is chaotic for the sake of being chaotic.
But with it being possibly Leah, it means Leah saw it and she wanted to put it out there. That's why she would put us on Front Street like that. It's also why she would target Rubina with the information instead of me if I'm Tucker, because I want them to think it was her. Or as Sasha said, or Joseph. Joseph would have been a good one. He knows all the information. He's basically Lord Varys.
Yes.
He's got a lot of little birdies. So I think Joseph would have been someone I would have thought, which is why I thought it was a good idea for Tucker to frame himself first, to have it be about himself first, because it takes the heat immediately off you thinking it's me. It's very obviously not Rubina.
Right.
So we're now
in the clear. If it was Rubina, she deserves an Oscar.
Yeah. CJ, let's talk about this HoH competition. There was several different sounds.
Yep.
A plethora, if you will.
Yep.
And there was in a sequence, and I thought it was really funny because in the little competition, Rubina said she had a mnemonic method to keep track of them, and she kept track of the first 4. And that's about all I got also. So I didn't know in what order anything was.
I think around the time Kenny was shaving his head, as I said, I'm out. Watching the video, I said, all right, I'm out.
Yeah. Like, how long is this video?
Right?
It was crazy. And because the video, all the clips came by so quickly, the sounds are hard to remember. And then they're asking like the order of the sounds. T-Core wins in 3 questions.
One of the shortest HoH comps I can remember.
Yeah. And
but it's funny because she won in 3 questions. I would have been out on question 2. So it is what it is.
Yeah. And even when she got that 3rd one, she took like an educated guess.
Yeah.
She wasn't even like for sure on it. I did not love the HoH competition because I like being able to. There's some competitions where you can like play at home.
Yes.
And that one went so fast.
I mean, you could have played this one at home. It was just extremely difficult.
Yeah. Agreed. You could have played it at home. It was less fun though. It wasn't a fun comp. But once again, though, an equitable comp. Anybody could win this one.
Yes.
I'm very, very, very impressed with the competition this season.
Yeah, just like after watching last season, watching Jag and Matt dominate, I'm still waiting for the other shoe to drop, and they're like, all right, physical comp time. And then it's just a bunch of endurance comps.
I think even if they were to go like Ninja Warrior for the rest of the game, I wouldn't be so mad about the comps this season because we got 5 weeks of equitable ones.
Yeah, but it's proof that they could have done this the whole time last season, but they decided they wanted Jag to win.
That's not what happened. They could have done this the whole time, but I'm sure the season. Oh, and I'm sure. I know the season's mapped out ahead of time, like any good game maker. And they thought that the physical comps would be fine, but no, they were not. They were not. Cam or Jag or Matt. That was it.
Yeah.
But having another competition that anybody could win, we end up with the T-Core win. And with the T-Core win came people just crying up a storm. Tears of joy and of happiness ran throughout the house, as everyone cried. They have a whole thing where they all like are in the kitchen and they're all jumping up and down together. Like they're doing that storage room jump that you do with your allies, except for T-Core. Everyone's her ally.
Yeah, it's going to lead to some blindsides this week. And then more tears because they put her up. She put them up.
I don't even know if they would be looking at blindsides. I think you'll be looking at people going home just for sure. Like for people going home that did not expect that they would even be an option. But I think she would tell them each that before they went up that this is why you're going. That you're not even why you're. I had no choice. You're going up.
I think it's funny because that's essentially what you got in the episode, where you got half a segment of her just saying, this is who's going up, like talking to them. But you got a full segment of them celebrating her win.
Mm-hmm.
And like after the initial, everyone's excited, everyone's jumping up and down. Mackenzie's throwing shade, which was my favorite part. Then you have Chemo and Rubina ugly crying because they're so happy for her.
The tears coming out of those two humans as this woman was not in the room. They're like, she's just such a good human. She's so good as a person. It couldn't have happened to a better person.
Didn't she didn't they meet her like 5 weeks ago? Like she could have been like hunting puppies and like punching babies before the house and they wouldn't know.
5 weeks ago in the Big Brother house is 5 months of life.
I still wouldn't be crying tears of joy that someone's such a good person after knowing them for 5 months.
Or like 5 years. What if it's like 5 years? I feel like a Big Brother week is like a year.
Maybe I'm not crying tears of joy for anyone, really.
Well, you're not a cry tears of joy kind of person.
What are you talking about? I'm such a good person.
She's such a good person. No, it's I'm not a big cry happiness kind of person, but like Tucker's crying, Rubina was crying, Chemo was crying, Chelsea was like, get a grip. I'm happy for T-Core, but like,
yeah.
One thing we didn't talk about, I love the fact that Chelsea and Cam are still working together and are trying to they know that they now need to lay in the weeds and just wait.
They have to wait, but they also need to pick up the numbers that are on the outside. Like they're on the outside. They know who else is on the outside. They need to make a leftover style alliance with the people who are on the outside where they can band together because it's those two, Quinn, Leah, Mackenzie. That's 5. You only need to swing one other person.
I love in the episode, they were like, there's still the Pentagon, even though Cam was like, a Pentagon's a straight line now. And Quinn's like, I still got the Pentagon over here. And it's like, but you don't. You don't. You don't have the Pentagon.
Oh, yeah. I think it's funny. I think it's funny that Chelsea, like we just talked about, Like I literally just said, the people who are on the outside need to work together. And if Chelsea wins HOH, she doesn't give a fuck. She's going after Quinn because Quinn blew up her game.
Quinn can get it. Chemo could probably get it. Tucker can get it. Any of these dudes can get it, except for Cam. Cam should probably keep close. That's gonna be her like lieutenant. He's gonna be stationed at the door while she conducts 101s. There's
She's
no
gonna conduct
other
101s, and Cam will be sitting at the door to make sure Angela's not sitting there with her fucking ear on the door.
That's what you gotta do. Because Angela will be listening to the doors all the time. Ridiculous. Speaking of Angela, man, Cry Me a River is twofold. How about Angela bursting in there during T-Core's HOH and just being like, I'm going up. You're putting me up. And they're like,
that's funny because if I was HOH, I would have been like, well, if you insist.
Nah, man. Nah. You wouldn't have been like that.
Because yeah, I would have been. As I've talked about, I already don't like Angela. I cannot stand Angela.
You'd have been super surprised about her barging in there and how she had this assumption that she was going up. You're like, why? You would be like them. Like, what are you talking about? You're not, what? You're in this alliance. What are you talking about?
No, knowing that I hate her, but trying to hide it because she's in my alliance with me, I would have been like, so are you volunteering to be a pawn? Like, is this what this is? Let me figure out a way to get this woman out the door. Let me get this woman out the door.
In a minute. We'll talk about volunteers in a minute. I don't think she's going anywhere, man. I don't think she's going anywhere. She can't win. I think she is. They said it on Rob had the podcast this morning. She's the new Bodhi Chain.
I know. It's awful. I hate it.
And I'm sure we'll have to figure out what happens when her life changed for the better when she joined the Mafia.
The worst part is I didn't mind Bowie Jane because she was just there in the background. Similar to Cam this season, where he's just in the background, not getting a whole lot of screen time, doing whatever. I'm getting way too much Angela.
But CJ, how did your life change for the better when you joined Matt and Jagan, the Mafia?
At that point, I was hate watching the season. I already forgot about it. If you would have asked me 3 minutes ago to name their alliance, I probably could not have told you.
I can only do it because of that final, the final HOH question from her. When she said, Matt, how did your life change for the better? You joined me and Jag in the Mafia. See, I even got the hand signal down too. Like, I even got the hand signal. Rock, look at that. Mafia.
I wish I could leave right now.
You can't. You gotta stay right here. This is hell. You gotta stay here with me.
This is hell. This is my own personal
hell. Man, the tears were flowing in this episode. Tucker cried. Everybody cried. T-Core cried a bunch. And she was happy that she won. Just tears everywhere. I don't really know. I've never seen people cry happy this much.
I haven't seen this many tears since somebody ate a charcuterie board in the house.
Man, Angela laid on the ground and just like going through it. Like I know you hate Angela, but Angela is the most entertaining house guest I think we've seen in years.
For better and worse. For me, it's worse, but for better and worse.
It's nothing strategic. It's all like her being mad at Brooklyn for eating her charcuterie, her laying on the ground in peril while she watches them enjoy the beautiful board that Brooklyn prepared. And then, on top of all that, when she gets Brooklyn's goodbye message, she tells her you probably shouldn't have ate my charcuterie.
If somebody sent me home because I ate their charcuterie board, it was worth it.
Was it?
Yes. $750,000 charcuterie board.
You know, it's funny, man. It reminds me of when we played that tournament. We played that kickball tournament recently, and our pitcher said, you know, my favorite part of the day is fucking up other people's day. That's my favorite part. My favorite thing to do is to fuck up other people's day. That
Yeah.
is how it is with Angela. My favorite part of each day is fucking up Angela's day. That
Yep.
would be, how can I bug Angela today? Is that bullying? Would that be considered bullying?
No, because she's asking for it.
Oh, I don't know if you say that, but
So
you know,
let's say that Angela didn't see Brooklyn eat said charcuterie board. Would she have launched a full investigation like Jasmine over the cupcake?
she would have asked some questions. I think so. She would have asked some leading questions, brought people into her interrogation room, set them down. So, where were you at 7:13 p.m.?
And then she would have started crying. She would have started crying because they told her the truth. She's like, I really miss my charcuterie. And they'd be like, you can't eat it. You're have
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Like, but I was looking so forward to it.
It lasts longer than 2 to 3 weeks. It's like, nah, man, mold starts to grow.
Yeah.
It's
No wonder Lisa was her favorite chef. It all makes sense now.
It's tracking. It's tracking. CJ, do you know what the best part of a T-Core HOH is?
No, because we didn't get much screen time with it.
You know why we didn't get much screen time with it?
Because nothing happened.
Because when you have people looking to volunteer as tribute, it changes exactly how this is going to go. T-Core wins HOH, and she has to make some tough decisions. Or does she? She lets them know off the rip that Chemo, Rabina, and Chelsea ain't touching the block.
Which is
The
funny
block is hot.
because
Stay away from it.
she talks about saving Quinn too, but she didn't
Yeah,
name him, which I find
correct.
interesting.
It was funny because T-Core, she's got her own friends.
Yeah.
Tucker's like, these are our friends. Mackenzie, Leah,
Yep.
Angela, Joseph. These are our friends. And then Chemo Rabina's like, okay, these are our friends. And then T-Core said, them not my friends.
Yeah.
They're not my friends.
Yeah, she's
My
like, I
friends.
like Rubina. That's
Yeah.
about it. I like
Chemo's
Rubina.
cool. Chemo's cool. But you said Mackenzie? Nah. You said Leah? If Leah, why
Nah.
not Chelsea? I'd much rather have Chelsea. You said Angela? What about Quinn? What about Quinn? That's what she would much rather run with. And she's made it clear, as well as T-Core does make things clear, that that's what she wants to run with. But since that's the case, you got these people like falling all over themselves to be like of service to T-Core.
I mean, it's like we talked about earlier. Couldn't be happier than to go home on T-Core's HOH week. She's such a good person.
Yeah, correct. And like we get Tucker volunteering. We had Rabina telling her, if you need things to make it easy, I'll go take my happy ass to that block right there. All 9 of me. I'll go right to that fucking block and take a seat, climb into the chair. You have Chemo saying, aloha, put me on the block if you need it. Pre or post veto. Whatever you got to do it. I got you. Y'all just saw young Cedric go home.
Well, not only did you just see Cedric go home, but like with the AI arena and the HOH, you can't put 3 pawns on the block. You got to put 2 targets up. Like you have to have
crazy.
3 targets.
I don't know that she has any targets.
Right. But if you don't have any targets, then why don't you go after the house target? Because the house target is your friend.
Yeah, that's why I can't go after the house target, man.
But everyone's okay with Angela going home. Even Angela, who
Oh,
came
you're
in
talking about
crying,
that
she's
friend.
going home.
I thought you were talking about Chelsea.
Well, no, but I'm saying like you could have gone after Chelsea. She did put up Cam, which we saw. Like there's people on the outs: Chelsea, Cam, Mackenzie, Leah. Don't use any.
That's why this house is so interesting because you're wrong, right? And where you're wrong, and the only part you're wrong at, is that you said Chelsea's on the outs, but she's not because Leah, Mackenzie, Quinn, T-Core, Chemo, Rabina all want to work with her.
Yeah.
So
It's funny because she's on an island, but she's not. It's like she's on an island with a bridge.
yeah, basically. It said, I'm here by myself, but friends come join me.
Because I think Tucker's the only one that actually wants her out right now.
Yeah.
But like, even if you take Chelsea off, like I named 3 other people that can go up. And then you put those 3 people up that you don't necessarily care about. And then if one of them wins the veto, then you put up a pawn. And then if your pawn doesn't win the AI arena, you just vote out one of the 2 targets. It's not hard.
It's that simple. But you got to have the targets. Side note, side quest. I heard the other day Joseph telling Quinn, I think it was Quinn, that he would not be voting for Chelsea if she was in the end.
Because
he said he doesn't think she's playing a good game.
Okay.
It gets better. He said that he wouldn't vote for Angela either. In fact, the only way he votes for Chelsea is if she's sitting next to Angela. He thinks everyone else beats her.
No.
I have no idea what game he thinks is being played.
He works in a video store.
The silence was very the silence was deafening.
He works in a VHS video store, and he gets excited when they have like 15 people in the store at a time. I'm still convinced it's a sex shop.
We went through a whole talk about it being a sex shop in the cast preview.
Yeah, and I still think it is. This man does not work at Blockbuster.
So Tasha's giving us a little bit more context. Joseph thinks Chelsea threw him under the bus, which is why I guess he wouldn't vote for her. It's so crazy to me because she's playing very obviously a very good game.
She is, but it's like, that's the thing. It's not obvious if you're not working with her. Because as I just said, she's on an island with a bridge.
That's not what it is. It's because this right here, what Tasha said in the chat, he thinks he's a better gamer than her, and he's not. That's really where the thing is. He thinks, and this is feeds, but I don't feel like it's not a spoiler because it's not like a part of the storyline. He thinks he's playing the best game in the house.
I think the only person he's afraid of is Tucker.
No, he's not even afraid of Tucker. He thinks he can beat Tucker in a final too.
Not right now.
Yes.
And the reason why he can't beat Tucker in a final 2 is because Tucker has what you call them digmatized.
Yeah.
He's not
even though the digmatization has already been broken. They would look and say this dude would have won all these comps and he still got here.
Yeah.
Joseph, we're not really sure what you did, and none of us like you that much. So that's really what happened. But like I had to go on that side quest because I just couldn't believe it when I heard him say that he wouldn't vote for Chelsea unless she was sitting next to Angela. I was like, what?
But it also shows that he's already thinking about taking Angela to the end because he thinks he can beat her. And if Angela gets to 7, there's a good chance Angela gets to the end because everyone thinks they can beat her.
True. By the way, Mackenzie, a volunteer, Tucker, and Cam are all on the block. The reason I did it this way is because it's kind of how the episode did it. All of a sudden, the 3 of them were on the block and nobody cared. And that's kind of how this is. So those 3 on the block. It's Tucker volunteered, Mackenzie's a competitor, and Cam's a competitor, I guess. I don't really know. That's just kind of how she landed on them, and it was what it was. Tasha says, Quinn said Chelsea is the best player in the house. Yeah. And Joseph said, after me.
He's so modest.
And I don't know why he. I mean, he's playing a decent game. I say decent because the strategy's there, but the social's not. People don't like him.
Nope.
Quinn's playing a very good social game, but not great strategically. You know what they need to do? Remember in Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, where they would like do the dance and then fuse?
Yes.
They need to do like a fusion dance and combine Josephine, Josin, Quinsif. Quinsif,
Close up.
with Quosif needs to do the fusion dance and then like touch their fingertips and then become one person because then they might have a chance. What if you get the fusion and it goes wrong and you get Quinn social, Quinn strategic, and Joseph social?
It makes me wonder: are there any?
Player.
It makes me wonder if there are any true final twos this season.
Yeah, Chemo and T-Core.
Other than them,
Chemo and T-Core, Joseph and Tucker.
I don't know if it works both ways though, because like I think Joseph would take Tucker to the end, but I think Tucker would take Rubina. I guess Rubina would take Tucker, but maybe not because Rubina talks about wanting to win the money.
Yeah. I think T-Core and Chemo are the only real true final two. I think Chelsea and Brooklyn was a for real final two.
Yes.
I think
I guess Chelsea and Cam might be a final two right now.
Yeah.
And I when I say true final two, all I mean is if they were asked by a producer, who would you take the final two right now? They would name each other.
Well, Tasha here in the chat says she thinks that Chemo would drop T-Core for Tucker.
I don't think so.
I think as stigmatized as he is, I think that T-Core, I mean, we saw him crying ugly tears. He was ugly crying for this woman. I think that he stays true. And I think he stays true, Tasha, for this one reason is that he would feel like a horrible person if he did something bad to T-Core.
Yes. Because she's such a good person.
Yeah. I think that's the thing that would stop him from doing it. And I think that's probably one of the only things is that if we're at the final, he wins the final part of the HoH and it's him, Tucker, and T-Core. I don't think that he would have it in him to betray T-Core in that moment.
I don't think so either.
But other than that, that's the only real final two that I could think of.
Yeah, and it's interesting because like you've had so much alliance turnover already, and we're pretty early in the season still. Usually, you have some like rock steady final twos by now, and then it's just people gaming each other to see who they can get to jury, and you don't really have that right now. Like you have Sixth Avenue, but they're not even that solid because they don't really like Joseph and Angelo, and we saw that in this episode.
Correct. Now, Tasha is right. Josh did do it to Betty and BB Can 10, but Kevin Jacobs is a master is one of the best Big Brother players to ever play the game. CJ did not watch BB Can 10. If he gets a chance, he should check it out somewhere online. It was a fantastic season of Big Brother Canada. But in there, we have this dude named Josh and this woman named Business B, Betty. They were besties. They were Chemo and T. Oh my gosh. They are Chemo and T-Core. Kevin, now Josh wasn't stigmatized. Kevin Jacobs was just a masterful player. But Kevin had a great relationship with Josh that people just didn't know about.
Interesting.
And Josh cut Betty Business B in the end and took Kevin, and then Kevin dog walked him in the fucking finale. In the final speech, he dog walked him. It was insane. But I think here we would have a similar thing, but I don't think that Chemo would do the same thing that Josh did to T-Core.
I don't think so.
Because his bond with Tucker isn't the same as Josh's with Kevin, in my opinion. CJ, ready to get to some spoilers?
I've been waiting this whole time because just like this episode, nothing happened.
A lot happened in our episode right here.
Oh, I mean, we talked about a lot, but they showed the fact that we got Angela eating her have-not sandwich when we all know have-nots ends Wednesday at midnight going into Thursday morning shows us how little they had. The fact that we got Chemo's remix song shows us how little they had.
What a great song, though, right? Like his voice, Chemo's singing voice, top notch.
Yes.
Top notch.
He's trying to get on like AGT or American Idol or something.
Yeah, probably. But before we go to the spoilers, CJ, you know your boy loves a ranking. It's rankings time. So CJ, right now I'm gonna need you to give me the rankings. Who is we're gonna go from worst to first. Who is your rankings on least likely to win the game to most likely to win the game? Remember, Mackenzie, Cam, and Tucker are currently on the block.
Well, I think based off the conversation we just had and have had this episode, I think Angela's least likely to win because everyone's will be vying to sit next to her. And if everyone's vying to sit next to you, that means no one thinks you can win, which means no one's planning on voting for you if you get to the end. So I would put her at the bottom.
Okay.
Based off of what we saw this episode and the immense amount of love, if T-Core makes it to final two, it seems like she's going to win.
But I'm gonna need the rank. I'm gonna need from worst to first, my guy. Give me this ranking.
So I would probably go Angela on Dead Last Loser.
Yep.
Probably Cam next.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like he's playing a lot of game. So
okay.
Then I would go Leah, who's there for the vacation.
Okay.
Then I would go with Joseph. He doesn't seem very liked.
Okay.
And when I say Joseph, I think if Joseph makes it to the end, I think he could probably make a compelling case. But I think Joseph's the kind of guy that, like, at this point, we'll target him eventually. And if we don't have a target, we'll get rid of Joseph then. Like, on a double or something. If Joseph goes home, no one's mad.
Joseph is the kind of guy that would probably laugh at a funeral. If you can't understand what I mean, then you soon will.
Wow.
That is the kind of guy that he does seem like. You're right. Joseph's not really that compelling, if you will. So, Angela. You have Angela, Cam, Leah, Joseph.
Mackenzie. I don't see how she makes it to the end. How many people are still in the house? 11?
Yeah.
So Mackenzie was 5th from the bottom. So I guess then we're looking at.
You have Chelsea, Quinn, Rubina, T-Core, and Chemo left.
Yeah, I think Rubina would be next because I just don't. She's another one that I don't see how she gets to the end. Chemo seems like the kind that everyone wants to keep around, but I don't think he can make a compelling argument to win.
Okay.
Then I would go with Quinn because I think a lot of people think he's dangerous, so he's going to go soon. Then I would go with Tucker, actually, because he's going to be an appetizing target if he's sitting on the block come vote time. Even though he's very well connected right now, he's too much of a comp beast. I think Chelsea's playing probably the best game based on the conversations that we've had and just from what I've seen. But then T-Core just seems like everyone likes her.
I think it's very compelling. I like your list there. I think my list is a little is way different. I
You
think
have Angela at the bottom, right?
Angela's dead last loser.
Yeah.
Next, I have Tucker, actually, because I think if there's an opportunity to take out Tucker, it's taken.
I agree with you. I just think Tucker has a chance to go on a run. Like, I don't think people are looking to get rid of him yet, even if he is sitting. Like, let's say he's sitting on the block on Thursday. I still don't think they take the shot.
I think he goes home 100%. I think that if you look up and we're after the AI competition and Tucker's giving a speech, you just look across the room. You're like, it has to be now.
It does.
Like, it has to be now. And I think that everyone, like, this house is a house. They're not all great game players, but they seem to all have common sense outside of volunteering to go on the block. So they're going to look and say, is it go time? It's go time. I think it's go time. When are we going to get another chance?
And
Hamilton
that's the thing
style. I'm not going to miss my shot. I got to take my shot.
And that's why I think that's the only reason I have him ranked so high is I don't think they're willing to take the shot right now. And this fool could win out. Like, he could go on a Rachel Riley-like streak or a Jag-like streak and just be fine. So, and that's the only reason I have him so high. If I thought they would be willing to take the shot if he's sitting on the block come Thursday, he would be where you have him.
Well, listen, they are not throwing away their shot, Alexander Hamilton. If they see it, if it's lined up, you got to lead your command. You got to take it. You got to do what you got to do. And you have people with sense. And Chelsea, listen, I cannot say enough good things about this woman. I've been shouting her praises since the moment I saw her first interview. I think Chelsea would openly say, it's got to be Tucker, y'all. If he loses AI Arena, she's just going to say out loud, it's got to be Tucker, right? Tucker, I think you're a great dude. And I know you're going to say the reason why you should stay. But Leah, Mackenzie, Angela, Cam, Quinn. It's got to be. It's got to be right now. It has to be right now. We are not going to get another chance at this. And
also,
Tucker's going to be in the room next to me. And I'm saying it's like in front of him.
Also, it seems that whoever goes home this week will not be jury because Julie did not announce to them that they would be jury, which means jury's back at 9 again this season.
Wasn't it 7 last season or was it 9 last season?
It was at 9 last season.
So it's probably back at 9, yeah? Yeah. Same.
I assume it's back at 9 because when we did our picks before the season, we did it at 11, but it seems like 9 is here to stay again.
Yeah, and I think that's a good chance. There's a good chance right here. So he's not going to be in the jury. But I think that's why you just openly say it has to be now. It has to be now.
Yes.
And so I have Angela, I have Tucker, I have next Joseph. Because Joseph's playing a good strategic game, but nobody likes him.
Yes.
And Big Brother's a lot about playing good strategically, but you also have to be liked.
Yes.
So I have Joseph there. So Angela, Tucker, Joseph. Next, I have Mackenzie because my girl Mackenzie is like a week late and $1 short. She's just now, this last week, she was talking about the underdogs and the Pentagon. She was like, the Pentagon's a thing. Like, baby, that was broken up 2 weeks ago. She's like, well, we worry about the collective. You see the collective's going to pick us off. Baby, that was 3 weeks ago. Like, you're like a couple weeks late. This week, she's like, the underdogs are running the game. It's like, the underdogs are not really a thing. They're not really with Quinn and Joseph anymore.
It's funny because Mackenzie is like trying to play versus Leah's like they're on vacation. And yet they're in the same spot.
It's tough. It's tough. It's tough because Mackenzie has no one to play with. No one wants to play with Mackenzie.
You know who Mackenzie reminds me of is America last season. Like, I'm really trying to play this game, but nobody wants to play this game with me, which it just sucks.
Nah, because America ended up getting Corey, and Corey played the game with her.
Yeah, but it took a while to get there.
Sort of. She was a little bit messy. She's a little messy. She's here for the mess. Mackenzie's not here for the mess. She's here for God. This game's gonna bring her closer to God. So I think you have Mackenzie there. Then you have Cam above. Nope, you have Leah above Mackenzie. Then you have Cam. Then IMO. You have Quinn, Rubina, Chemo, T-Core, Chelsea. Because though they love T-Core can get taken out by accident.
Like sitting on the block during a double or something.
Yeah, or like she's sitting next to Chemo, sitting next to Chemo, something like that. It's going to be sitting next to Rubina. It's going to be something like fluky that takes her out. It could happen. I think Chelsea last week made me just watching her do a masterclass of going up as the replacement nom. So you're like basically a backdoor target, and then being like, I'm okay. I'm not mad about it. It's cool. It is a game. It's what you got to do. Getting called the mastermind of the alliance, getting all that pinned on her. Her being cool, calm, and collect. Her and Cedric, I felt like handled the block beautifully. And if you're able to stay cool under those pressures and keep your real thoughts up to yourself, that's just it. You're playing on a different level. So that's why I have Chelsea 1. That's my breakdown. You guys that are watching in the chat, let us know what your breakdown is on your rankings from worst to first. Let us know in the chat. CJ, I don't know about you, but I'm having fun with this season. We have some good TV people. We got some people trying to play the game in the background. I'm liking both ends.
Last week, with the collective and the Pentagon getting blown up, so I guess 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not happy who it happened to, but it did get me engaged in the season for the first time because there was a twist. Because similar to last season, it was if there's like people are surprised they're going home, but there's not a lot going on. It means people are in control and it's going well. Yeah. Right now, especially with Tucker being the ultimate wild card, no one's in like real control.
Right.
Like there's a group that has control, but they could lose it at a moment's notice.
In my mind, Tucker's like the person that says, "Let me drive." You're like, "No, I'm gonna drive. Let me drive." And you're like, "Fine." You give Tucker the wheel. He says, "Look, no hands." You're like, "What are you doing? No hands. Move your hands. No hands. No hands." Let's play fire drill with the car driving. Let's play the fire drill with the car moving. No. Let's go ride the whip. Let's go ride the whip.
That is what Tucker is doing.
I'm in control. I'm driving. Or maybe the ghost is driving. Who knows? Who knows who's driving? That's how it is under Tucker. CJ, you ready to get some spoilers, man? Spoilers. Here we are. Thank you for joining us. If you don't want any spoilers on what's happening with the rest of the week, come back on a Thursday. We should be firing for real on Thursday this week. I think Kylie and Sheldon will be available. CJ, would you might be available?
I'm gonna be on a plane going to Nashville, so I will.
So CJ will not be available, but hopefully Kylie and Sheldon they have some other engagements. Hopefully they can make it back. I'll be here with them on Thursday, covering everything that happened in the eviction episode as well as the veto episode. We'll be doing our four favorite things. If you're leaving now, if you do not want to leave now, want to hear at least some veto stuff and some stuff that's happening, stick around because in about 10 seconds we'll be getting into it. All right, guys, this is your chance. Come on, hurry up. Okay, CJ, hit it.
Man, I thought they'd never leave.
That's damn right. That's damn right. You know why, CJ? Because as we know, T-Core, HoH, she has put Tucker, who volunteered, Mackenzie and Cam on the block. She did not want to put Cam on the block. She didn't want to put up any of the black people. That was kind of like her thing, but
Yeah.
Chelsea took precedent.
It's funny because like Tucker volunteered, but Mackenzie and Cam were voluntold.
Yeah, that's basically what happened. The veto competition, CJ, was the good old Yankee swap.
Which another classic competition that they advertised. They didn't say what it was, but they said we're going to get a BB Classic for a veto. And I was like, more classic comps, please. We don't need more just endurance comps. Give me equity.
And you got it because I think they had to throw a thing and had to hit a thing. And would you like to know the prizes, CJ?
I would love to know the prizes, but I want to know what the money is, what the trip is, what the unitard is. Give it all to me. Because we know this is how Yankee Swap works.
This is true. So, T-Core took home the money. $5,000.
Nice. Because she's such a good person.
You know how good of a person she was?
They let her
apparently Tucker came in second. That's right. Tucker does not win.
Wow.
Tucker traded his prize. He opened up the prize. It was the unitard. Not just the unitard. He's like the AI assistant. As the AI assistant, he wears a unitard and he has to look at an encyclopedia and look up things whenever it's asked of him.
Oh, that's rough. That's like, that reminds me of like the sandwiches in the Lord of the Lurchine from the cookout season. That's rough.
Yes, very similar. And so Tucker did not trade that with T-Core. Kept it for himself so that way she could keep the $5,000. Because she's so sweet, she's so nice, and she's such a great human being.
That's a choice, but Tucker has made a lot of interesting choices this season. Because if there's one thing I would not keep more than anything else, unitard.
Correct. There's always like a punishment where someone has to do something for like 24 hours. Yep. Or like overnight or something like that. That was Angela.
Oh no.
Yeah, so we're gonna be able to see that Angela has to do this punishment, where she has to do something like overnight. Trip. I think it was a trip to Europe.
Nice.
Mackenzie wins that one.
I mean, she'll get to use it sooner rather than later based on how her season is going.
Correct. And that leaves two other people, Cam, who is on the block, and Joseph, who played in the veto competition. Joseph won 24-hour confinement.
Oh, that's brutal.
Mm-hmm. Which means Cam won the golden power of veto.
Good for him. Mm-hmm. No wonder he got some screen time on Sunday.
Gotta explain when he wins the veto who he is. You know what I'm saying? And like Tosh said, he has been gaming this week. It's been on the feeds, not on the show. He has been gaming this week a bit because he was like, I gotta kick something in the gear because me and Chelsea are in trouble.
It's funny because I have not been watching the feeds this week, but I read feed recaps and they don't talk about him that much, which lets me know he really isn't doing much.
He's doing a little. They're not showing him that much, but he's talking to people. People having conversations. So this is where it gets great, CJ. So obviously, T-Core now has to find a replacement nominee.
So who volunteered?
Right. So I want to make sure we go through the people. There's T-Core. Tucker and Mackenzie are already on the block.
So they can't volunteer.
Correct. Cam's won the veto, so he's safe.
Is he though? Because remember, Tucker gave the veto away. Maybe Cam.
CJ.
Maybe.
Cam is taking himself down. He is safe. He told her straight up, I'm taking myself down. Yes. That's 4 people. She already said she refuses to put up Rabina and Chemo. And Chelsea. There's 11 people in the house.
Yeah.
We're now down to Quinn, Joseph, Leah, and Angela. Okay?
All right.
T-Core is also in an alliance with Quinn called the Visionaries, and an alliance with Joseph and Angela called 6th Avenue.
Yes.
You know who she's not in an alliance with?
Leah.
Correct. So, process of elimination says that Leah is probably the one to go up.
You would think, right?
You would think. Angela, yesterday, was like, I don't want Leah to go up. I don't want Leah to go up. We're in this alliance together. I don't think Leah should go up. Why isn't Chelsea an option?
Angela, you're not the HOH.
Why isn't Quinn an option?
Because you're not the HOH.
Okay. That's how Angela feels. She thinks, but Leah's such a sweet soul, and she loves her so much, and it's not unfair to put her up. That's what Angela feels. Tucker wants Leah up. Rabina and Chemo are listening to T-Core, and they think very much so Angela's an option to go up because they don't want her in 6th Avenue anyway.
Nope.
Plus, T-Core, and T-Core as a gamer, she has her own structure that she wants. She wants her final 5 to be, I'm going to let you guess it. T-Core?
Chemo, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Quinn?
And?
Rubina.
There you go. That's the final 5 she wants. She does not really want Tucker here. She doesn't really want Angela. She doesn't want Angela Joseph anywhere near her real alliance. That's the 5 she wants to run with. And that's why it was so funny because they had Brooklyn in there last week. They could have definitely said Brooklyn, but they didn't. But that's the 5 they want to run with.
So
and
Brooklyn would have been final 6 for her?
Yes.
Well, then why did you blow up the collective? By the way, I read all of this, and I still am baffled.
So with all of with that being her final 5 that she wants, she is over here trying to figure out maneuver this. Then Angela comes up and says, I don't want Leah to go up. Joseph and Quinn don't want Leah to go up. And Chemo's like, Quinn, she doesn't like you, dog. He's like, nah, I asked her, and she said people took her out of context, man. Nah, she's for chill.
It's funny because Quinn is still standing for Leah, and Chemo's trying to get through while he stands for Tucker. And Tucker.
No, the worst part is, Chemo gets no fucking love from me. He should have fucking said this when he was HOH, the deepfake HOH, because then we're not even in this situation. Young Cedric is still here. Brooklyn is still here.
Yep.
Because they would have put Leah up then. Leah versus Mackenzie versus Cedric for the competition. Mackenzie still wins it. Cedric versus Leah. Leah sees the door. It's that simple.
Which, side note, after watching Quinn, everyone knows he's the deepfake HOH, and his ally goes home on his HOH because he volunteered. Why would you ever volunteer again?
Bro, volunteer. You would think young Cedric would have been the key, but here we got Tucker out here doing the most. But you know why though? And I'll tell you why. Let me tell you. I'll tell you exactly why. So after all is said and done, this is what's huge. Chelsea's like having these conversations like backdoor. They're like, look, man, obviously we don't want to take out Tucker because Tucker's up, but what if Tucker doesn't win the AI? He didn't win the veto. And if he doesn't win the AI competition,
maybe if we had ranked choice voting, we could put Tucker at the top. Just put him at the top.
And it gets even better. Remember they were digmatized about an hour ago?
Yeah.
Spells broken. Spells broken. Leah and Mackenzie both want Tucker gone.
Good.
Yesterday, a huge shift happened because he's in a showmance with Rubina. Angela is jealous. Angela is married. She has children. She has grandchildren. But she has developed also, obviously, a little, maybe platonic crush on Tucker.
I think I agree with you there that it's a platonic crush because Tucker is the only person that pays attention to her at this point.
Correct. And so, but now that she knows she has a showman, she does not believe him that he would take her. He is an actor. Like, that's what's crazy is that Angela's the one saying he's an actor. Yesterday,
Angela hurts my head.
when Mackenzie and Leah were in a room, and Angela came in there and said, if Tucker is up there after the AI competition, we have to take him out. Angela said that, CJ.
And then I would be like, whoa, Angela, that's crazy talk. And then when she leaves the room, I'd be like, she's right, though.
You know what they did? They did even better. All three of them then scattered from the room and told everyone else in the house that Angela was Tucker gone. Quinn went up and told the visionaries, and he told Tucker to his face because he didn't want Tucker to think it was him.
Yeah. Tucker probably
Tucker thought it was Quinn.
Yeah. Tucker still thinks it's Quinn.
Then Chemo says to Tucker when they're talking about it, I also heard that from Mackenzie. And then he said, the source is Mackenzie, then you can't believe it. So Tucker does not want to believe that Angela wants him out. He then says, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to confront Angela myself. So today, Monday, August 26th, this morning, he went to Angela and said, what's this business about you wanting me out? And she's like, you were in a showmance. Obviously, your showmance is who you're going to be loyal to. He said, I made a promise to you first. They're getting into it. They're fighting in the bathroom while Chelsea's using the bathroom. So Chelsea is the whole situation. She's right in the bathroom while it's happening, which is insane. So
I'm gonna sit in that stall and I'm not moving then. Y'all can have it out. I'm just gonna stay in here. I'm not here. Make sure the door's locked.
They have it out. He tells her, I'm committed to you. Angela does not believe it, refuses to believe it. On the flip side, Mackenzie goes to Rubina and says Tucker said that he would take Angela to the final too.
Wow.
So I don't know what showmance you're doing, but he's not really here for you. Rubina's been like, I don't want to be played. Not here, not in the real world. Like, we think we're building something here. Like, we like each other a lot. I don't want to be played as a fool. Everything breaks down. Feeds go down. It's time for the veto ceremony.
I just don't understand how Angela can sow so much discord when nobody believes her or likes her.
Well, remember, it was between Leah and Angela this whole time. What we're going to do. Feeds come back up. Angela is on the block.
Happy day.
Not so happy day.
Well, no, not for Angela.
Tucker's furious.
Because he wanted Leah on the block?
Yes. And he said, I've done so much for you, T-Core. I've done so much for you. You couldn't do me this one little thing of putting Leah on the block so we could send her or Mackenzie home.
No.
You know what? I don't want to be here anymore. I miss my dog so much. And I haven't really been playing. I haven't really wanted to be here anyway for a long time.
Sounds like Kenny.
Thus, he said, I see how Kenny felt. He said, I see how Kenny felt. Rubina's like, no, you want to be here. Quinn is trying to like console him and tell him, you want to be here. He's like, I'm going to throw the AI arena to Angela. Because I don't want Angela on the block. I don't want Angela to go home.
That's dumb.
Yeah. Tucker's, he's been in a fit all afternoon, been in a funk because of this. Now, it finally clicked for me. Tucker, obviously not a good player.
Nope.
You said he's chaotic.
Yes.
Do you know where the chaos stems from?
No.
He's not afraid of dying. What I mean by that is that if he doesn't want to be there anyway,
That he doesn't care if he goes home. So he'll do whatever. That makes sense.
which is why he's as chaotic as he is because none of this matters. As in, I don't want to be here. So if you send me home, fine. But if I get things shaken up, also fine. He told Quinn and Rabina he's like a varsity player playing with the JV.
No, but okay.
He just wants better competition. They're not playing the game to its full potential.
You know the kids that like, you know the block puzzle with kids that like you have the circle and the square and the triangle and you like it teaches like toddlers to put the shape into the right hole.
Yeah.
Tucker was the kid that was trying to put the square through the circle hole.
And
And when
like
it didn't
pushing
go, yeah, like
Pushing
pushing,
it.
like forcing it in. That's what
Mhm.
Tucker does.
And he does it till it breaks.
Yeah.
Something breaks. Either the puzzle or the block.
Tucker's wild.
And he's wild, but that's why he's fearless. That's why he's reckless. It's because he doesn't want to be there anyway.
It makes sense, but it's like we talked about earlier. I thought for him, this was an audition to be on the challenge. Like, I think he was just trying to get clout to go do something else.
Well, he's friends with Cody.
It makes sense.
So this could be just a gateway to the challenge. Paulie's on the challenge.
Yeah.
This is a gateway to that. But also, I think that I think it was like after the first week, he was like, this place sucks.
I mean, he was a have not the first week and he had to deal with Lisa, so it makes sense.
Yeah, he's like, this place sucks. I don't want to do this at all. But I like don't want to lose the money. So here I am doing shit. Which is why he's just out here doing shit. But now he wants to go home. He's sitting next to Angela. He's sitting next to Mackenzie. He's saying he's going to throw the AI arena.
I think it's
We're
Monday.
trying to talk him out of it. We're trying
It's
to talk him
Monday.
out of it. It is
Let him
Monday.
sleep on it.
I hope he does throw the AI arena. I'm ready for his
Same.
ass to get up out of here.
I just want Mackenzie to win the AI arena. Like, that's all I want in life right now.
And that way you get Tucker versus Angela.
Yeah, like, I don't care which one of them goes home at that point.
Tucker wants to go home pre-jury so he can go back home to his dog and his family. Rumor is he's got a girl outside the house. The rumor from that is that the dog that he has in all of his pictures is allegedly his ex-girlfriend's dog. He told T-Core today when he was talking about his dog and how he's sad and wants to see his dog that it is his ex's dog, and then like they share custody or whatever, but he loves the dog so much. She posted that she slept with him before he came in the house, like the night before he came in the house.
I mean, that doesn't mean they're together.
True. But they share a dog.
That doesn't mean they're together.
True. I'm just telling you the circumstances, the circumstantial evidence that I'm seeing. But as of now, I think that if Tucker's on the block come eviction day, Chelsea's going to push hard.
Yes.
Chelsea is lightly working with Leah again. Remember I told you last week how Leah hated her?
Yeah, if I don't like you, you don't like me. That's just how it's going to be.
But they chatted a little bit, and now Leah feels good about Chelsea again.
Even though Chelsea still doesn't like her.
Correct. And it's because Chelsea's good at what she does, man. And Mackenzie likes Chelsea again because she's shaking her head out of the digmatized zone, and she's like, "Oh, but Chelsea's a woman of God."
You know what's funny is we're looking at who's left. If they do send Tucker home, we're really close to potentially having a female alliance that can just run the house. Like, we have the numbers. you could potentially have a female alliance run the rest of the game.
Yes. We're very close. Female alliance plus chemo.
Yes.
Which is probably wrong. You probably shouldn't say that just because he's a gay man. You should just put him with the women. But he's very close to Rabina and Tucker and T-Core.
Yeah, but like I think that chemo would I don't think it would be a true female alliance. I think that they all just have common interests and would try to get the dudes out first. And I don't think they would actually take out I think chemo lasts past Angela, and if the alliances stay tight, chemo's in a final four with Chelsea, Rubina, and T-Core.
Mm-hmm.
Like Quinn probably is the last guy to go, because once it's Tucker, you have Quinn, Joseph, Cam, and chemo. Yeah,
that's it.
And chemo's gonna get rid of the dudes. Yeah, this is who I'm working with. Like he doesn't, because that's the thing. Like I 100% understand why dudes fall to female alliances all the time, because I was just working with you. I wasn't thinking about it as like, I'm your number. It was like, this is my crew. Oh, I'm just the most expendable. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think those dudes are about to be real expendable if Tucker goes home.
Yeah. But that's another thing. They keep pushing at the guys that are trying to work together. Which is also helping the narrative.
Yes.
Because Leah and Mackenzie, who know nothing, keep saying that this is what's happening, but it's probably not what's happening, but that's what they think. We do know that Cam has tried to do a final two with Tucker, but Tucker's told everybody about it, and so it's Cam, so obviously that's not real.
Yeah.
I think a lot of them are just buying their time because they think they can't take a shot at Tucker, but the moment you can,
they all will take a shot at Tucker.
Shadow Protocol. It is 0 Dark 30. It is time to go.
Yeah, because if Tucker goes home right now, it's 4-6. And realistically, it's 3-7. Because chemo is going to side with the ladies.
Right. So, Angela's on the block. Mackenzie's on the block. And Tucker's on the block going into the AI arena. Today has been a mess. A lot of tears. T-Core was very upset because she thought putting up Angela would make the least amount of people angry.
And I'm pretty sure it did. It's just that Tucker got angry.
Correct. And she didn't want to hurt anybody. She's just such a sweet person. You know what I'm saying? Just a big heart. Sweet person.
It's fine. By Thursday, they'll be happy to go home on her HoH because she's such a good person.
Yeah. We had another choice. I'm so sorry. Thank you for this opportunity, T-Core. Thank you for this opportunity to go up and go home. I appreciate it.
I'm sorry that I'm causing you pain by leaving right now.
Yes. Yeah. That's on me. I'm so sorry, T-Core. I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna leave right now, but don't cry too much because I'm so sorry. I should have secured the votes, and that's on me. I am so sorry. CJ, that's our episode, man. That's what's going on in the Big Brother house. What are you thinking? Everything's good. You're enjoying yourself.
I'm enjoying myself. I'll be like I said, I'll be a lot happier if Mackenzie wins this AI arena.
I agree. We will be back. We'll be back on Monday. When do you come home from Nashville?
Monday night. So maybe we're back Monday. If you're back Monday, you're back with somebody else. Otherwise, we're going to be back on Tuesday.
Ooh, we might do a Tuesday episode of the 5 p.m.ers. That might be fun. Let's look for Tuesday. Tuesday episode of the 5 p.m.ers. Catch us on Tuesday next week as me and CJ break down everything that happened in the Big Brother house over the weekend that is to come. Thank you for joining us. Good night. Oh, coming to you from outside the Big Brother house. Good night.